All right, so if you're a senior architect and you're staring at an Azure platform that feels, I don't know, more like a roadblock than a runway for your developers, then you are absolutely in the right place. We're going to dive into how to turn that platform from a simple cost center into a core product that actually pushes your business forward. Yeah? Does this sound familiar? You've engineered this beautiful, secure Azure platform, but your dev teams are just stuck in a queue. Tickets are piling up, deployments are crawling, and the very engine you built to speed things up is now the source of the traffic jam. That friction? That's the classic sign of a platform that's being treated like a utility, not the powerful product it really needs to be. So, here's our game plan for the next few minutes. First, we'll diagnose that bottleneck problem. Then, we're going to shift our entire mindset. We'll get super practical with how to actually measure the developer experience. And then, this is crucial, learn how to listen. And finally, we'll put it all together into a framework that doesn't just fix things for today, but keeps your platform evolving for whatever comes next. Okay, so let's get to the root of it. For decades, we've thought of internal platforms as just IT infrastructure, a cost center. Its only job is to keep the lights on. But you know what? That thinking is exactly what creates the bottleneck. The goal isn't just uptime anymore. It's about empowering your developers to create real value and to do it faster. And that brings us to the single most important idea we're going to talk about, treating your platform as a product. Now, it sounds simple, but this shift in thinking is profound. All of a sudden, your developers aren't just users, they're your customers. And every single decision you make, from a new feature to a simple bug fix, is measured by one thing. Does this make our customers' lives better and more productive? So what does this actually change, day to day? Well, it means you stop living in that reactive world of support tickets. Instead of just fixing what broke yesterday, you start proactively building the tools your developers will need to win tomorrow. Your job title might not change, but believe me, your role does. You evolve from a sysadmin into a product manager. I mean, just look at the contrast here. On the left, that's the old world, right? Cost center, reactive, measured by uptime. Basically, is the server on? But on the right, that's where we need to be. A value driver, proactive, and measured by something so much more meaningful, developer satisfaction. It's a completely different ballgame. Okay, developer satisfaction sounds great, but it can also sound a little fluffy, right? How do you actually measure it? How do you know if you're winning? Well, you need hard data. And this is where we get practical. This is where we introduce service level objectives, or SLOs. You've heard the saying 1,000 times, if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. It's so true. For a platform product, SLOs are your new currency. And they aren't just random metrics. They are concrete promises you make to your developers about what a good experience should feel like. They define success in black and white. Now, choosing the right SLOs is everything. And honestly, these 4 are a fantastic place to start. Think about time to provision. That's pure speed. How fast can a dev go from an idea to a running environment? Then you've got pipeline success rate for reliability. Are our CI/CD pipelines actually dependable? Incident MTTR tells you how fast you put out fires when they inevitably happen. And my personal favorite, golden path adoption. Are developers actually using the streamlined best practice stuff we've built for them, or are they going rogue? And the great thing is, you can track all of this right now with the tool you already have, like Azure Monitor. But let's be really clear, data is absolutely essential, but it only tells you half the story. The numbers can tell you a metric is red, but they can't tell you about the deep frustration a developer is feeling. To get the full picture, you have to go beyond the dashboard and actually talk to your customers. This is the perfect way to think about it. Your SLOs, that's your quantitative data, they tell you what is happening. For example, time to provision is taking 2 hours instead of 15 minutes. That's the what. But it's the qualitative feedback, the conversations, that tell you why. It's that developer who finally tells you the documentation is confusing and I can't find the right module. That right there, that's the gold. So how do you get that gold? You build a system for listening. You can start with broad strokes, like simple developer satisfaction surveys. But then you got to go deeper. Honestly, nothing beats sitting down for one-on-one interviews or holding feedback sessions with a whole team. And a personal favorite of mine? Set up platform office hours. It's just a dedicated time where any developer can drop in and tell you exactly what's on their mind. No ticket required. Okay, so now we have our 2 streams of insight, the what from our SLO data and the why from our developer feedback. The big question is, how do we combine them? We need a framework, a repeatable process to turn all this raw info into actual meaningful improvements on the platform. I love this quote because it just perfectly captures how these two things work together. A failing SLO, that's the smoke alarm going off. It tells you there's a problem somewhere, but it's that direct developer feedback that lets you run into the right room and find the source of the fire, so you can prioritize the fix that matters the most. And this, right here, is the engine that drives it all, the continuous evolution loop. It's simple. You start at step 1, measure your SLOs. Then you gather the why through developer feedback. That allows you to identify the real gaps and opportunities. With that insight, you can prioritize your backlog intelligently, focusing on the biggest impact, not just the loudest complaint. And then, crucially, you iterate, you build, you release, and you go right back to the start and measure again. Did we actually fix the problem? This loop is what keeps your platform from ever becoming stale. You know, when you truly commit to this mindset and this framework, something fundamental shifts. You stop building a platform for your developers and you start building it with them. And that changes everything. And look, if you remember just one thing from all this, let it be this. The end goal here isn't just a better platform. The technology, that's the easy part. The real prize is a better partnership. This whole process tears down that old wall between infra and apps. It creates a single, unified team, a true collaboration where everyone is focused on the only thing that actually matters, shipping great software to customers faster. So, I'll leave you with one final question to take back to your team. Forget about some 2-year roadmap for a minute. Just think about the single biggest frustration your developers have right now. What is the one metric, the one SLO, you could start tracking tomorrow that would begin to change the conversation?